right, so we talked about all the pieces yesterday. We said this is our N. We said this is mean. Why did we say that this is S and not sigma? Why is this one S and not sigma? It's still talking about that sample of 10. It gives us our confidence level here. And it says to assume that it's approximately normal. So starting with state. This should be very easy because it's the exact same one that we did. The only thing that's changing is we're using T instead, or we're using letter S instead. So state is going to be what? We want to estimate. Which symbol are we estimating? U, which is the true, what word has to come after that? Mean, and then we make our decision in context. I think the wording kind of changed. One kind of calls it gas mileage, and one time it says miles per gallon. I think it's gas mileage. I like this. So the mean gas mileage achieved by this particular car model. How does it end? This particular car model. So technically, here I chose mean or proportion. Here I chose mu as opposed to P. This is technically the mean that I'm measuring, and that is my population. All right, plan. What's our first part of plan? I'm going to go farther so that I'm writing higher on the board. What is our method? See what? Or what do I have to put with that statement right there? So I'm specifically pointing to the decision is made for T because our sigma is not known or unknown. So I'm telling you, I made this decision. This is why I made this decision to use T and not Z. What's our next condition? What about random? What do you see? So what does that mean? Can't do what with the results? if I'm giving you one on the test, and usually I go through and look at these, and I'll end up adding the word random somewhere in there, so we don't have to deal with this. But I do want to deal with one, like I was just going to type it in or tell you to write it in, but I wanted to cover this while I'm thinking about it. All you would do is something like this. Random really doesn't hold us back. I talked about this maybe just in 4th period, 6th period yesterday, but what really happens is that they're doing a study. This means they can't do the results for the whole population. Well, they just took a sample of 10, so they might have done a study to say, is it worth our time and effort to go in and put everything into getting a big enough random sample to generalize results? If they get results that show here that it's worth it, then they would continue. Otherwise, they would stop. So what's our next condition? What do I need to write? Stated that what is? I'm trying to go a little bit quicker because I want to be done this time. The population distribution is wording specific. So if it says approximately, don't say is normal. And the important part, we can use no approximation. And both Z and T actually use quote unquote a normal curve. The Z is just a standard normal. All right, so what's my next condition? And what do I check with independent? And what is the equation for 10% condition? Which one do I know? Capital N or little n? Which is and then I would need to say there are at least 100 what? Cars of this new model. All right, so now we're at do. So this is the only place where it actually changes, other than method I wrote that it was a T instead of a Z. So what are the numbers that we know from the problem? X bar, which is what else? Which is what else? And it gives me the, what was it, honey? I need to use this to find my what? T, which means I also need what? My degrees of freedom gives me, what is my degree of freedom? Which is 9 in this case. So you're going to your T-chart, you're going to the bottom to 95% confidence level. You're going on the left side to degrees of freedom of 9. And you get what? All right, so what's my generic equation for confidence interval using T. Do I care if you write the star there? No. So I'm just plugging in numbers, 27.2 plus or minus. Times over good time to fix it. When I'm writing my answer, I'm writing it as an inequality like this. What symbol goes in the middle? U, because that's what I'm trying to estimate. And we get a lower bound of, I'm going to write this out so if y'all are messing with your calculator, make sure you do it right. You should get 25.9124. And an upper bound of 28.4876. So what do we have? Just conclude.
Does it not be random changing?
I'm never going to give you one. Technically, it would be, I mean, I get what you're saying. Kind of, yes. I'm basically giving you, what happens is I forget to write random sometimes. And I'd get through years where people would just stop and be like, we have no idea what to do. And I want you to see like the idea of where it really is affected. Am I really going to give you a problem on a test where it's not random? No. Or are you going to get a problem on the AP exam where it's not random? No. But in real life, it's going to happen. So theoretically, yes, the conclude wouldn't apply correctly because we don't have random, but just so that we don't have that issue. And like, there are going to be times where I forget on a test, the first person who mentions it, I'm just going to be like, just pretend it says the word random and then go for it. Alright, so our conclude starts with what? Should your conclude be very hard? Why? It's almost exactly the same thing as your state, except written in an answer. So we are 95% confident that you, the true, I don't remember how I wrote this. Mean gas mileage. Just pick your formula section. Just make sure you write it the exact same way. Oh, I didn't do it before. And then I just end it with what? And sometimes I write will fall between and false, and then sometimes I write false between. That's where it doesn't really matter. But what do I need to include when I write these numbers? My units. And my units are going to be what? Oh, forgotten.